Number 5. Listen to a short conversation. Then listen for a question about it. After you hear the question, you have 20 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to record your answer.
Now listen to a conversation between a student and her friend.
I thought you liked your history class.
I do. I mean, it's a lot of reading and everything, but I enjoy that, even though it takes a lot of time.
So what's the deal?
Okay, last week, Dr. Norman assigned a paper.
Well, I think that's fairly standard for a history class.
Oh, sure, it's on the syllabus, but it isn't very clear what he wants us to do, and he didn't really clarify it when he talked about it in class, so I don't know how to start.
When's the paper due?
At midterm, so I have time, but still, I'd like to get going on it.
Yeah, but like you say, you have time. Just wait until next week and ask about it again in class.
I could, but won't he be insulted? After all, he already explained it once.
Oh, I don't think he'd mind. He'd probably be glad that you want to do it correctly.
I don't know. Maybe he would.
But anyway, if you don't want to do that, you could just make an appointment to talk about your ideas for the paper, to get some direction about the topic. That way, the conversation will just naturally lead into an explanation of how he wants you to do it.
Describe the woman's problem and the 2 suggestions that her friend makes about how to handle it. What do you think the woman should do, and why?
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep. Number 6. Listen to part of a lecture. Then listen for a question about it. After you hear the question, you have 20 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to record your answer.
Now listen to part of a lecture in a general science class. The professor is discussing the way that ultrasound works.
Okay, let's talk about how ultrasound works and how it's used in medical diagnosis. To make a long story short, ultrasound is very similar to the sonar devices we discussed last week. Remember the system that emits ultrasonic pulses and listens for reflected pulses from objects in the ocean? Well, ultrasound is really just another type of sonar. The sound waves used in the ultrasound are created by a crystal that moves rapidly back and forth, creating a sound, but you can't hear it because the frequency is so high. The doctor places the device, the transmitter that sends out the sound waves. The doctor puts that on the surface of the skin so the sound waves are transmitted inside the body. And when this high-frequency sound is directed to a particular area, then the tissue and organs reflect the sound. The patterns of sound that are reflected are processed by a computer, and an image appears on the screen. And that tells the doctor whether there is something unusual there or not. This is very important in the diagnosis of cancer, to know whether a tumor is present, and also as a non-invasive way to monitor the growth of a fetus during pregnancy.
Using the main points and examples from the lecture, describe the kind of information that ultrasound can provide, and then explain the way that ultrasound is used in medical diagnosis.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.